I see a couple things that could happen. We could hit this resistance level and we could play off and hit the matching D extension. But sometimes what we see happen is we see price go back to try to make a deeper retracement in order to hit this D extension. So very well could be a possibility if price is able to break this weekly resistance level that we see it hit that 38.2 and then come on down and hit the matching D extension. Or what we could see is that price play off that weekly level and go hit the matching D extension to the downside. On how I do it, you can look through the videos on my channel. I invite you to subscribe. There I give detailed information about how I mark up the charts. And so I go through and I identify my levels of support and resistance on each time frame. And that gives me insight as to how far I can trade in a certain direction. So I am doing that. I'm on the monthly. And so I'm going to drop down because I've already done that on the monthly. I want to make sure that I've picked my levels. I missed one. So I'm going to move this up. And then we're going to drop another one. And so I'm using Smart Trader. And you see I just use the Smart Support, Smart Resistance tool. And it tells me where my level should be. So I really like that. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to drop down to the weekly. And I'm looking for the same things. I'm looking for my key levels of support and resistance. And so I am good. I think I got my 2 levels. I can double check just by doing that. I missed one right here. That's why I love Smart Trader. Helps make sure I'm on point, right? And it helps me get through the charts a lot faster. So it's always a win in my book. I'm going to drop down to the daily and I'm doing the same thing. Looking for my levels of support and my levels of resistance. And so we're going to turn that. And then I'm going to drop my next level here. And just to make sure I got it right, we good. I missed one. So I'm going to drop that. It was so close. I was going to pass it up, but I got to do right. Okay. So we did the daily. I'm going to go down to the 4 and I'm going to do the same thing again. And so I see a level here. We're going to turn this back, make this gray. And I think we got a level here. This is kind of funny looking though. Let me see. Nope, I'm right on point. Okay. It just looks weird. Okay, so I found what I needed to find. I'm going to go back to the monthly. And now I'm a heavily based fib trader, right? So, I mean, that's the basis of what I do and what I trade on. So I want to see where we fall in the fib sequence. And it looks like we are at the 61.8 of the downside fib. So that's good information for me to know that price is at a key level. And then I want to see where we are on the upside. We've hit a extension. So we had an A low, a B high, 23.6 pullback, and price hit the D extension at 170.282. And so now price appears to be forming a new fib. And so I got my 2. I'm just taking a look. Okay. So I see what I need to see here. 1, 2. So there may be, let me go down to the weekly. And let me put this fib on it. I think we're all good to the downside here. And a lot of people often ask, like, oh, how you know how far to go back? Like, I'm not looking at time. I'm actually looking at structure. So this is the active current fib if price was going to the downside. And then this would be the take profit. All right. So I'm going to turn this green. If you're looking for like a more detailed instruction on a breakdown and understanding about fibs, about market structure, make sure you check out the mini course. I'll put the web address at the bottom of this video, so you can check it out, because fibs are life, right? I don't know what else I would do if I did not have the Fibonacci tool, how I would be trading. And what I'm doing is I'm just walking myself through the fibs to see what's active, where we're at, all that good stuff. So there is another monthly level of resistance. And if we continue to the upside, then that is the overall target. But this is the daily chart, so that could be a long way away. Or we could see if price doesn't break this monthly level of resistance, and I think it's only hit it once so far, we could see price turn around. But let's see where we are now. We did the daily. I'm going to go down to the 4. And I want to see now from the top where we are. So this to me looks like one of the setups that I really, really like to trade overall. And based on what I know, this should be, or could be, not should, let me stop saying that. This could be the ultimate target, or even higher past this. Looking at structure, I could see price actually traveling a little bit higher than this 38.2 level before we see a continuation to the downside. So this is the active fib that's right here, right? And so we could see price pull up either to the 38.2, the 50, or even the 61.8 before making its way to the downside to this matching D extension right around 151.961. So I want to keep drilling down though. I want to see where we are on this chart and if there's a play to be made. So I'm going to grab my array and I am going to look and see. Now, if I want to make sure I drew this right, I can use the smart trend line tool, click above the last high, and that is where that trend line should be drawn. So it looks like we just broke the trend line to the upside. So I would anticipate that price is going to continue to increase, and I'm actually going to draw my own trend line here, right? So that's what I would be looking for. I'm going to get rid of this. If I can get rid of it, user error, user error, user error. I am trying to get rid of this active fib. I don't like a whole lot of stuff on my chart. I don't know. My cousin jokes with me. He trades US 30 and German 30. And he laughs at me when I tell him that, you know, it looks like Christmas lights. His charts look like Christmas lights because he got EMAs and all kind of stuff. And that works for some people. But for me, it does not work. So looking at this on the 4 hour, this A low, this B high, we had an 8.6 retracement, which means that the take profit theoretically should be above this weekly resistance level at the 118, which falls in line with the target level before we could see price start to move down. So that is important for me to know. And I want to drill down just a little bit further, see what we might got going on. Let's see. Y'all, my eye is twitching like crazy and I have not been able to stop it. And it's driving me insane. It's driving me absolutely insane right now. Okay. All right. So I see a potential. It looks like this might be finishing out, coming to this 38.2 before continuing down to this D extension at 151.96, 152, let's call it. So there's a couple things that I see that could happen. In order for price to make it to this green level 162.657, it has to pass this weekly resistance first, right? And you see in the past that we've tried, let's see, what is this, December? So in December, again in January, it didn't pass the 4 hour. Then again at the end of January, again at the end of January. So I see a couple things that could happen. We could hit this resistance level and we could play off and hit the matching D extension. But sometimes what we see happen is we see price go back to try to make a deeper retracement in order to hit this D extension. So very well could be a possibility if price is able to break this weekly resistance level that we see it hit that 38.2 and then come on down and hit the matching D extension. Or what we could see is that price play off that weekly level and go hit the matching D. But I want to see what is going on the lower time frame, the shorter term play. My bias is to the downside. So even though there may be a buy opportunity, it wouldn't be anything I'd be interested in. So this is the active fib. You have an A low, B high, 23.6 pullback. So it's likely, again, that we could see price play off of this weekly level. And at the bare minimum, like this is where I'd be looking to potentially start looking for a sale. My confirmations have to be hit though in order for me to be interested at all, or execute, I should say. And at least I see this move happening at the very least. But again, it's possible that price could start just to break all the way down, right? But what we could see is price come back to this 38.2 and come back to this level before seeing price break all the way down. So as I mentioned, there's several different options. There's several different things that can happen. If we find support at the 23.6, this is a likely move. Or the other likely move is that price finds support, hit the 38.2 and hit this target up here, right? Or the other one is that price could hit this weekly level and break on down, all the way down, and just play off of that weekly resistance and break all the way down. But on the higher time frame, let me zoom out. On the higher time frame, sorry, I'm repeating myself. This is the active fib to the downside, and the target is at 151.961. That is the overall move. But I would have loved to see a deeper retracement. So like at least to the 38.2 and then that move. But my bias overall is to the downside. But the short term is that there may be a sale opportunity coming up if price finds support at this level. So there's a few things that can happen. Of course, before I enter any trade, I need to have confirmations and before I do anything. So I'm curious, what is your bias on this pair? How are you playing it? Are you playing it to the downside? Are you playing a buy? What are you doing? I'm curious. If this video was helpful to you, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you think somebody could benefit from it, go ahead and share it with a friend. And then if you're looking for a group of like-minded individuals, make sure that you go click the link below the video to the Facebook group. I try to do a couple things in there throughout the week. And then lastly, if you're wanting to understand fibs, how I just explained it here, and have your own confidence in knowing how you move and mark up the chart, then you want to make sure that you click the link for the free mini course that you'll find in the video description. All right, so I will see y'all on the next video very soon. Have a good one.